This is Watch Dogs Legion, and it needs a hefty computer in order to get decent frame rates. The only way I'm achieving above 60 frames per second is because I'm upscaling from 1440p. I have ray trace reflections down to medium, as lots of websites say you just can't see the difference between, it's nearly indistinguishable when you switch the ray trace reflection settings. Only very certain scenarios where you see the difference between ultra and high. So you might as well have it on medium. And I have shadows at high instead of ultra because I didn't see any huge difference when I look at screenshots. And we might look at the settings.
Resume.
Options.
Gameplay. Mouse and keyboard. Gamepad. Display. Video adapter. Resolution.
Here I'm upscaling.
2560 x 1440. Set the resolution for select menu. Multi. Video adapter. Quality. DXX. 12. Select DXX
Shadows
render
are very
mode.
high,
Shadows.
not ultra.
Left. Very high. High. Very high. Headlight. Depth of field. Bloom. Post-process. Subsurface scattering. Ray traced reflections. Off. Medium. Left bumper. DLSS. Extra details.
Extra details is only at
26%.
26%.
Modify the level of detail for geometry of object. Video.
I'll drive around for a bit. See what my frames per second is. So these are the recommended settings that I'd probably play at. Yeah, if you go any lower with the textures for the shadows, it'll be all contact hard shadows. With high, one notch below ultra, you still get soft shadows. And again, the difference in ray trace reflections is not even noticeable at if you're not looking at direct comparisons of the screenshot in special circumstances. I'm getting used to 1440p being upscaled to 4K. I think it looks a bit nicer with 1728p all the way up to 4K. It's a little bit less noticeable, but you don't get 60 frames per second at any higher resolution being upscaled in this game. with the 7900 XT. And you can kind of tell it's not well CPU optimized, kind of like the Witcher 3 Enhanced Edition. That one's not well CPU optimized either. And the game says only 5% of the CPU is being used when you're running the benchmark. So I don't know what's going on there. You'd think it would use up more CPU resources. But I'm still at a GPU bottleneck anyways. My GPU is being used at 100%. But maybe it could be a little bit faster if it uses a little bit more CPU resources instead of having it doing nothing. We pay for 8 cores. We want them all used. See lots of jaggy edges, typical for a Watch Dogs game. They never did implement anti-aliasing very well in the games. I believe the first one I played had jagged edges too, even though MSA was at 4 times. This is using TAA, so it's a little different. Probably not as clean as MSAA. Oh, it's switching to daytime now. I'm driving them on a one-way road in the wrong direction. Well, at least there's 60 plus frames per second. That's the only thing you can be happy about. Near ultra settings. And that's all I got for this game. Looks good, but you know, I'm impressed by lots of new video games. There's a homeless campground. And that's about it. I noticed on a lot of benchmarks on the internet, they're showing 100 frames per second for this video card. I don't think they're running at 4K or ray tracing enabled. So I was expecting higher frames per second because I've seen lots of people getting 100 plus frames per second. Then when you turn ray tracing on and extra details on, that's where it really kills the game or the computer. And that's about it for this game.